knows how you come across somebody once in a while you shouldn't have messed with. That's me.
I am not an African American.
You're Oreo cookie. White in the inside and black on the outside.
I don't have an afro. I have an Amerifro.
Talking that idiotic stuff you talk about, I will slap you.
Go ahead. Make my day.
Black at the ace of spades, but 100% American.
Heard around the world by everybody and their mama. The Jesse Lee Peterson Radio Show.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. There is, whether you want to admit it or not, or acknowledge it or not, there's an attack upon Christians and upon Christmas. Not Kwanzaa, the godless holiday, the real racist godless holiday, but upon Christmas. And more people are turning against Christians in our great nation. That's not a good thing. I have with me Brian Sapient, founder of the Rational Response Squad, intended to unite atheist activists. And they put out a challenge out there asking people to upload a video of themselves denying the Holy Spirit. And according to the scriptures, to deny the Holy Spirit is an unforgivable sin. You will not be forgiven for that. Everything else, yes. But to denounce the Holy Spirit or to deny the Holy Spirit, you will not be forgiven. But the atheists are asking you to do that. Brian, good morning, sir, and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you being here. I read up on you last night in preparing for the show this morning. I read that you was baptized, you received communion, and was forced to go to Catholic church every Sunday from the day that you were born until 13, when you became a born-again Christian. And your mother left, according to this report, left the Catholic Church for a born-again Christian church on the grounds that people at the church were more passionate about their faith. If this is true, did you turn away from Christianity because you were forced to participate in that religion?
No, not at all. I think I slowly started to turn away from Christianity as I learned more in school. More about science, more understanding of the natural world, and that the explanations given to me about the creation of the universe couldn't possibly be accurate.
Did you go to public school?
Yeah.
Oh, so once you left the Catholic school, you went to this public school, and they taught you more about science and evolution, and that's what caused you to turn away from Christianity?
That was the beginning, for sure.
Were you raised by your father? It didn't mention your father in this report. Were you raised by your father and mother, or just mother?
Actually, I moved to my father's house in my teens, and left my mother behind. It got to the point where I couldn't have a good relationship with my mother, and that was mostly because of religion. It's one of the reasons I speak out. I believed that religion divided us as a family.
How did it divide you and your mother?
She was so adherent to her beliefs and strict with her beliefs that she wasn't able to accept me as I grew out of them. And she was constantly trying to reconvert me or bring me back to religion, and that was the basis of almost all of our conversations. And she wasn't able to have just a regular mother-son relationship with me where she loved me for who I was. And so it got to the point where it was impossible to have a relationship with her.
I totally understand that. I hear that all the time from young and older people who say that their parents they overdid it. It was just too much to handle. They they didn't really just live it. They tried to impose Christianity upon them, and it just caused them to resent that action, and they turned away from it. And did your father wasn't a Christian?
No, he was actually raised Jewish and was a lot more non-religious. He didn't really go to synagogue, and he believes in a God still to this day, but a lot more laid back about his beliefs.
And as a result, you got along better with him.
Oh, of course.
And so you go to school, and they teach you all this other stuff about evolution and those things. Did that make you a better person?
Made me a more educated person. I think I attained morals from somewhere else. But I think it's nice to know that I feel like a lot of Christians believe that we are each other's brother because of the Adam and Eve story. And I feel like I know for sure that you are my brother because I understand science and that we've all evolved from the same place. So I feel a kinship to you, and I believe that I can prove that scientifically, where you might feel a kinship to me, but you don't really have 100% proof of it. And so I think that I have similar morals to Christians in that sense, but science does teach me some of those values, but not all of them.
Where do you get your moral values from now?
Well, I mean, we've had a social code and a social construct for many years before religion was created. Sort of the golden rule type of philosophy. I have a firm understanding of what's right and what's wrong, and I don't need religion to tell me what's right and what's wrong.
So you don't believe in God. You don't believe in religion. Where do you exactly get your moral values from?
Well, I think law is a good way to understand what's right and wrong. We have a police force that is, the ultimate source of what's right and wrong in our country. So, on a smaller level, on a micro level, how to interact with people and things that aren't illegal, I try to do to others as I would want them to do to me, and I try to not do to others as I would not want them to do to me. And
so you get your moral values from the law, and who made the law? Who makes the law?
We did.
We who?
People.
And so people make the law, and you get your values from the laws that those people are making. And where are those people who make the law get their values from? Where are they getting their values from? The
same place I get them from, the understanding that we would do to each other what we want to do to ourselves. I understand the argument that religion imposes that, those laws come from God. That sort of thinking is it just removes the Bible from the equation. There are tons of things in the Bible that are not in our law. Just tons. In fact, almost the entire first half is all of the laws in the Bible. Many of them are not laws.
Brian, I'm black. I'm a little slow. I'm kind of missing it here. You get your values from the people who from the law. And so I asked the people who are making the laws, where do they get their values from? And you said, what was your response to that?
People.
So the people who are making the laws are getting their values from society.
Correct.
And where is society getting their values from?
It doesn't go back any further than that.
It doesn't?
No.
And how do you know that the laws, the values that society is creating and making laws from them are the right ones? How do you know that they're correct?
There's probably laws that are not the right ones, and there have been throughout history. There's been plenty of times when the laws weren't the right ones. Slavery was condoned, not only condoned, it was, forced in the Bible. Slavery is a rich heritage of slavery in the Bible. As of 200 years ago in this country, slavery was the law. There wasn't a law against
Let me
slavery.
take a break. Let me take a quick break. 888-7753-773. 888-77 Jesse. Brian Sapient is with me. Back in a moment.
Tell me, what did I do wrong to make you stay away so long? 'Cause baby,
Okay, welcome back. 888-775-3773. Brian Sapient is with me, founder of the Rational Response Squad, intended to unite atheist activists. He is an atheist. They put out a blasphemy challenge to the folks, asking them to upload videos of themselves denying the Holy Spirit. The one thing that God said, do not do. Oh, God. And so, and we're going to play that for you in a minute here and take your phone calls. Brian, I do appreciate you being here. Let me just ask, you turned away from Christianity and you were raised in the Catholic Church because your mother was just insane with it, according to what you said about her. You went and lived with your father as a teenager. Your father was more laid back. Then you went to a public school, and that's where the brainwashing started, according to your report. You get your values from law, and it's people who make the law. Let me ask, who created society, in your opinion?
Okay, first of all, you just said my version of the story. Why did you call public school brainwashing?
Let's get to this question first, and then I'll answer that. Who created society?
Nobody created society.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, nobody created society.
How did society come about, in your opinion?
Well, we, as a culture or a group of people who, first started to, I don't know where you want to, maybe about 7 million years ago, as we were sort of in groups, a more primitive animal, okay? We worked together to survive. And that slowly evolves, just like we do as a species, into something a lot greater and bigger today.
As human beings, I'm asking, as human beings, where did we come from? Where did we come from as human beings? How did we come about?
The question that you're asking, is typically answered with God. Okay, so that's the answer that you think in your head, correct?
What answer do you give? You're the atheist here. What answer do you give?
The question is just an odd way to ask the question. Where do people come from? Where does life come from? It came as a non-random series of events.
Non-random series of events.
A primordial ooze. Life started to exist on this planet in a much more primitive form than humans first. Bacteria,
Because of time, Brian, where did human beings come from?
This planet.
What do you mean by that?
This planet has given us many different animals. And human beings are one of them. And that's it. The question that you're asking is, it begs the answer, God. It's, you don't have
you
to
realize
think of it in
that
those
you're
terms.
not giving me an answer right now, right?
Well, you realize you're asking the same question over and over and getting the same result, right?
But you're not giving me an answer, Brian. I asked where did we come from as human beings, and you can't tell me where.
I did tell you where.
No, you didn't. You said a whole bunch of...
We evolved from more primitive life forms. That was your answer.
Let me ask this, and let me play this challenge that your group put out there, blasphemy challenge, asking people to upload videos of themselves denying the Holy Spirit. I want to play that for the listeners out there and for yourself. Andre, let's play that challenge here.
3 months ago, I was a Christian. Through basic observation of the world around me and logical thinking, I've come to the conclusion that alongside the fact that there is no Santa Claus and there is no Easter Bunny, there is also no God. So without further ado, my name's Chandler, and I deny the existence of the Holy Spirit.
I deny God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit.
I deny the Holy Spirit and Jesus.
I deny the Holy Spirit.
The Rational Response Squad wants you to make a short video declaring your independence from the Stone Age. Shoot your video and upload it to YouTube, and we'll send you a free copy of the hit documentary, The God Who Wasn't There, on DVD. The DVD normally sells for $24.98, but it's yours free when you make and upload your video. If you already own a copy of The God Who Wasn't There, remember, it makes a great gift. Find out more at blasphemychallenge.com.
I deny the Holy Spirit, and I'm not afraid.
Okay. First of all, why was it necessary to get people to deny the Holy Spirit? If you want to do it, why didn't you just do it for yourself? Why do you need others to deny the Holy Spirit?
Well, there's people in society, folks a lot like you, who believe that they can work hard to convert atheists over to their religion.
You don't know what I think. You don't know that's what I believe, but why did you find it necessary to encourage people to do
I listened to 30 minutes of your show and got the gist that that's what you believe.
But why did you get, it was necessary for you as an atheist to get people to deny the Holy Spirit?
Right. So, like I was saying, there's people that are a lot like you that believe that they need to convert the non-religious. The Blasphemy Challenge served as a way to show those people that we are so sure of our position that we would commit ourselves to hell, proving that the whole system to us is just that ridiculous, that there's no way to try to bring us back to Christianity, that's how sure we are. And it was a rallying point, a rallying cry for atheists to show themselves, to show that they're just like you and me, that they're not the devil-worshipping, blood-dripping from the mouth people that they've been characterized by the religious, that there are teachers, our doctors, our lawyers, our firemen, and everyday, normal-looking people.
So in other words,
that was the idea.
So in other words, you don't want to go to hell by yourself. You need to bring others with you?
No, in other words, I'm so sure that hell doesn't exist that I would do whatever it took to prove to you that.
I want to take some calls here. We're going to take a short break, and we'll come back. We'll get some calls for you. My question for you. So you're at a point now, Brian, that you don't believe that God exists at all. There is no God.
I have no reason to believe in a God.
And that's
Absolutely none.
That's what you believe. There is no God. Do you realize that the hatred of your mother overdoing, or the way she acted as a Christian or a Catholic, caused you to hate her, resent her? That's what turned you away from God? Do you know that? Are you aware of that?
I don't hate her or resent her. She's not what caused me to turn away from God.
But you clearly explained that.
I turned away from God. I turned away from God, and she rejected that, and that's what caused me to turn away from her.
And do you realize that that's what is keeping you in this state of mind that you're in, your resentment for that?
No, that's not actually how it's going down.
When I come back, we'll take some calls. 888-7753-773. Amazing. Good versus evil. Back in a moment.
I worry, I throw my fear around. But this morning, there's a calm I can't explain.
I can read your mind, and I know your story. I see what you're going through. Yeah, it's an uphill climb, and I'm feeling sorry, but I know it will come to you.
Okay, folks, welcome back. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Manhood Hour is coming up in the third hour today. My Twitter handle is at JLP Talk, at JLP Talk. We're talking to Brian Sapient, and they put out, he's an atheist, he head of an atheist group, and they put out a blasphemy challenge asking people to upload videos denying the Holy Spirit, and they were crazy enough to do it. That's what's so funny about this. They were insane. They did it. It's amazing what people would do today. Brian, let's take some calls here. Are you surprised, Brian, that people did what you asked them to do?
I never expected to get so many responses. I mean, there were well over 1,000, and they came in very quick when it first happened. Maybe 700 in like a month.
Yeah, when I saw it, I'm like, wow. Let's go to Los Angeles and talk to Patrick. Patrick, good morning, sir. Welcome to the show. You're on with Brian.
Good morning, Jesse and Brian. First of all, I do want to say that it's a shame that hypocritical Christians create atheists, by the way that they push religion, and it's wrong, and it shouldn't be done. And,
yeah, this is happening a lot. This is why when the kids go off to colleges or the public school system, it's so easy for the children of Satan to seduce them away from their parents because they already hate their parents. If the parents didn't live the Christian life, they jammed it down their throats.
Absolutely. I do want to mention something about, Brian mentioned how the Bible condones slavery. And I hear this over and over from people, atheists and others, and it simply isn't true. First of all, the Israelites, when they were in Egypt, God freed them from slavery, the slavery of the Egyptians.
Yeah.
And the kind of slavery, the other thing is the kind of slavery that was practiced in the United States was not condoned by the Bible. They had different types of slavery, which was called slavery back in the day, but it had to do with people essentially selling themselves into slavery. They sold themselves to someone who did work for someone for a period of time, and then they'd gone. But it was not the kind of slavery where people were grabbed up, as was done in Africa, and then brought here against their will, brought to another country.
No, there were slaves in the Bible that weren't slaves by choice.
What's that?
And the Bible never outlawed slavery. The Bible spoke about how to treat slaves. But I mean, the Hebrews were not slaves by choice.
I just explained to you, though, that's true. But what I explained to you is that the kind of slavery that we're talking about is slavery that people sold themselves into, not that others grabbed them and forced them into slavery.
But we never really got to the point of that comment, which was that Jesse was trying to state that do I think that there are some laws that are wrong, and my point was that there wasn't a law outlawing slavery in America here 200 years ago. Obviously, I think that was wrong. At different points in our history, there have been laws that are wrong, and there probably are some today.
Brian, the Bible was written thousands of years ago. It did not relate to what happened in America 200 years ago.
And plus, there were blacks in America who owned slaves as well. And white folks didn't just go to Africa and just grab up black people. Black people were sold into slavery by other blacks and Arabs. So there you have it.
Additionally, a number of the another thing, they didn't just go after the Bible, but the founding fathers have been destroyed. And a number of the founding fathers spoke out, like John Adams, spoke out against slavery. A lot of them did. And so that history needs to be shown because they want to show the founding fathers as bad people. They want to show the Bible as evil, and simply isn't the case.
Brian, I don't think you really believe what you said about slavery anyway. It's just a way to deceive the people in order to turn them away from God. Is that right?
There's a lot of things that both of you are saying that are not my position at all, and I'll let you guys just believe what you want to believe. You've done that all your life, and so feel free. You can put whatever position you want on me, and no matter what I say to you, even if it's completely contradictory, just feel free to just believe and just keep just believing the way that you want to believe. Like I, for example, I'm an atheist because of a hypocritical Christian. Just believe that. Tell yourself that if it makes you feel better. If it helps you believe in an invisible man that you have no proof for, just tell yourself that.
But what I'm interested in knowing, if your way is the right way, why are you so angry?
I'm not angry.
You are angry.
There you go again.
Sound like Ronald Reagan. My point is just, getting across what's true. I don't want to hear people, because people are lying constantly about slavery, and I want the truth to get out there so others don't believe it. I don't want people to fall away from truth and from the Bible and reading it because they think, they condone slavery and it must be, what's wrong with that?
Thank you,
Not
Pastor.
that's not true.
I got to run. Brian, can you stay over for another segment for me?
Sure.
Okay, I have a lot of folks who want to talk to you. Back in a moment, folks.
When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. Now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind.
Okay, Manhood Hour is coming up in the next hour. Brian has agreed to stay over for one more final segment here and take some calls. He is the founder, Sapient is the founder of the Rational Response Squad, intended to unite atheist activists. And they put out a blasphemy challenge asking people to upload a video of themselves denouncing the Holy Spirit. That is mind-blowing to me that people did it, especially the young. Brian, let me ask, I noticed that the atheist people who are atheists, they believe in tearing down, but there's no proof that they are building up anything. What are you building up? Why are you so into tearing down?
Well, there's plenty of secular organizations that have charitable causes, if that's what you're asking.
Why are the atheist group hell-bent on destroying rather than building up?
I'm a rare breed. Most atheists don't care. I think many of us are pushing back from the fact that, over many years here, religion has been really pushed hard in America. When you want to talk about law, back to that point, God was put in our pledge and on our money, I believe, unconstitutionally. That's something that was done to push God on us. I think the logical response is, hey, don't you know that this is nonsense?
But maybe you haven't noticed, but many atheists are openly hostile. They are.
Well, those are the ones you hear.
But they are not friendly people. They want to destroy Christmas. They want to destroy the Christians. And why don't you just go out there and just be a little atheist and run around and allow other people to be free to do what they want to do?
Well, there's plenty of atheists like that. It's probably an overwhelming majority, and you don't hear from them too often.
888-775-3773. Let's go to Guy out of Phoenix, Arizona. Guy, good morning, sir. Welcome to the show. You're on with Brian.
Good morning, Jesse. Hey, mine's a simple question. Brian, your faith is in atheism, right?
I don't have faith.
Yeah,
faith
so you don't have faith. You don't have faith in anything.
I don't use faith.
What you're telling me that what you're preaching around atheism is a philosophy, right?
I don't
That's
preach
all it is.
Atheism is not a philosophy.
It's a philosophy.
No.
It's
Atheism is the absence of belief in a God. It's not a philosophy.
Where you're getting your information from? What manifesto are you getting it from? Darwin?
There isn't one.
Atheism, what do you say?
Atheism is the absence of a belief in a God.
You're wrong,
That's
buddy. There's all kinds of manifestos out there. There's 15 to 20 different manifestos.
No,
in
there's the
atheism.
one that I get my information
what
from.
What I'm getting at is you can't argue with faith. You don't have faith.
Right, because
and
I would never use faith.
all these great
I would never use faith.
Isn't it true?
all these charitable causes. Name one atheist group that feeds the poor, clothes them, or does any of that kind of stuff.
Earthward.org.
Where?
Earthward.org.
I didn't see Earthward.org at Katrina.
Okay, well, you just asked for one, so I just
I didn't see him there.
Yeah, well, you probably weren't there.
Hey, you can't say. Where are they at Sandy? Where are they? They're none. How many?
Yeah,
how
there
many?
are plenty of
how
atheists
many?
there. They
how
just
many
don't.
faith organizations
They don't do charitable work with the need of saying, "Hey, I'm an atheist doing this," like Christians do.
Well, where are they? They never come out. I never see them.
Because they do things to be good people, not because they want to do it in the name of atheism.
Well, then I guess your argument is I guess you must be making a lot of money pushing your atheism.
Actually,
right?
no, not at all.
You still live at home with your mom or your dad?
No.
Oh,
no.
How are you earning your living?
That's a strong argument, though.
Uh-huh.
I have a living. I go to work.
You go to work?
Job.
And so, what I'm getting at is you can't argue with faith.
I would never argue with faith.
You can't break down faith. You
Faith
can't,
is horrible.
Just like what you're saying to Patrick and
Faith is
Jesse
the belief
here
in something you have no proof for.
Their
I would never
faith,
do that.
They can go on believing with their faith, and you can't argue with it.
With faith, you can believe in anything.
Thank you,
I can
guy.
believe
I
there's
got
an
it.
invisible purple monkey over your head right now, dictating everything you say.
But Brian,
if I had faith, I could believe that very easily.
Brian, there are atheists.
So I don't use faith.
There are atheist center. Atheists do have centers groups around the country, and what I've noticed, as you do, you believe in your intellect. You have faith in your intellect, and you cannot live life without faith in something. You do believe in something, so you believe in.
I believe in things I can prove.
You believe in atheism, and that's what your faith is in. So you do. It's just a wrong kind of belief, but
I would never use faith.
Let's go to Rick out of Hampton,
That's
Virginia.
a very dirty word.
Rick, thanks for calling. You on the air.
Good morning, Jesse, and my atheist friend here. Everybody, they might want to listen to Jesse Lee Peterson Show today.
That's right. One thing about Brian that I realized, he's just like his mother. He's a hypocrite in that he tried to shove atheism down the throats of folks like his mother tried to shove a Christianity down his throat. But Brian, you're just too angry to see that. That's what you're doing.
And you know what, Jesse, too, man? Most atheists who I come in contact with, most of them, they've been hurt by somebody.
Yeah, he's been hurt by his mother. Rick,
that would be funny to you if that were true. That's funny to you.
It. Did you remember we talking about yesterday? Most people don't realize it until that's what it was, But
yeah.
Most atheists I have come in contact
You think
with,
I've never heard this argument? That it's because of my mother?
What's that now?
Now, would anybody, namely Jesse, be willing to admit that I have come to my atheism because I've learned, studied, and realized independently?
Well, that added to
God?
when you resented your mother for trying to shove religion down your throat instead of her just living it, being that example. Then you turned away from Christianity. You went out into the world, and the children of Satan.
Maybe you misunderstood the chain of events.
The children of
my mother for
Satan
shoving religion down my throat.
The children of Satan just turned. They taught you what you needed to know, and that's what happened.
I lived with my mother. Religion was shoved down my throat. Then later I learned. Then when I came back to my mother with the information I learned, we weren't able to have a good relationship because she wasn't able to accept reality.
Well, why don't you forgive your mother instead of turning completely away from God? Why don't you forgive her for that?
I forgive my mother, but
no, you don't.
It's impossible to have a relationship with her.
What's your website,
she,
Brian?
Unfortunately, is too far gone with this God delusion.
What's your website, Brian?
RationalResponders.com.
Brian, thanks for coming on with me. I'll have you back.
Thanks for
I appreciate
having me.
it. Okay. All right, folks. We'll be back.